Hi, Best Buds. It's Cathy with Cathy's Garden. I'm so happy that you've joined me today. Today we're on day number 7 in our 12 Days of Christmas giveaway. But first, let's have our shout out to Denise, Connie, Sue, Tanya, Doris, Jeanette, Cathy, Dorothy, Irene, Marta, and Vicki. I appreciate each and every one of you. We're going to make a shaker card, and not just any old shaker card. We're making a Wreath shaker card, and I'm going to show you how I did it. So I took a CD envelope, just like this, and I have my Deco Art Dazzling Metallic Festive Green. I love this color. I'm just going to place a little bit right here on my glass mat. I'm going to bring in my paintbrush, and it is angled. I like to use the angle because it helps you go around this circle. So I'm just going to put some paint onto my brush, and I'm just going to go ahead and get it placed down. I do think I'm going to make a couple of coats on here. If you get a little bit of this paint onto your window, it's very easy to get off, especially before it dries too completely. And let's see if I don't want to do it on purpose, but I'm sure I'll get some on here. And as I'm painting, I'm going to tell you that I invite you all to enter into my giveaway. You have one chance every day in our 12 Days of Christmas giveaway to enter. There's a question that you'll need to answer. To enter, you'll need to share and like the video, and I invite you all to subscribe. So as I'm painting along here, if you get some, I'm just going to get some on there. Okay, let's just get some on there. There you go. It's on there. Now, you'll want to take your, I have a little wet wipe, but even if you do a little alcohol on a piece of napkin or something, it wipes right off, just like that, especially when it's still moist. After it dries, you kind of gently rub it off with a wet wipe. It's very easy to get off. See, it's not hard at all. So I'm going to go ahead now. I'm going to give 2 coats. I am not going to paint the back, and then we will continue. All right, I have finished painting my CD envelope. I've got the window all nice and clear. I have taken a piece of coffee dyed paper. Now, if you choose to do a printed paper, you can do that. This is just what I've chosen to select. It's going to go with my little picture I'm going to put in here. And all I did was I laid down my envelope, and then I marked it with my pencil, and then I traced it out. I want to make sure that it fits in here smoothly and easily, and it's not hard to get in and out. It's a little tight right there, so I think I'd like to take off just a little bit more. You have plenty of room right here that no one's going to see that you've made it shorter. So take that opportunity to do that and make it easy on yourself to get it in and out. All right, so I'm in there, and the next thing I want to do is I really want to mark right here so it's not too long, because we are going to have to seal this up after we put our goodies inside to shake around. I'm going to trim this. Actually, what I'm going to really do is bring in my guillotine and make sure it's straight. That looks extremely crooked to me, and I'm going to just chop it like that. Now, I'm going to take my Tombow glue, which I have no idea what happened to it. Here it is. And I'm going to add my glue onto one side of my insert. And I am going to make sure I go fairly close to the edge. I don't want any of the items that I'm going to put inside of my shaker card to possibly jump back behind this and get stuck and maybe cause a lump or a problem. So I'm going to glue, especially around the edge, very well. I'm going to pick this up, and I'm going to just slide it in. Now, you're going to want to make sure you keep the window facing up, And then when you slide it in, you want to make sure you are going, obviously, you're going to be gluing it to the back, and there won't be any chance of it not going on the back. So I see here that it's not quite going in all the way. I might have to trim some more off. You see that right there. It's a little extra. And so I'm going to just grab a paper towel and wipe off this glue that's on the edge. And then it's okay if it doesn't go all the way to the bottom. Sometimes that glue really grabs hold and it won't let you stick it down any further because you have plenty of room. You can't even see that it's not all the way down, nor will you be able to once we get finished. So I'm just trimming that off right there so that we'll be able to close the envelope. I'm going to stick my little bone folder down inside and make sure that none of the glue seeped out, got on, so now we do have an open envelope. The next thing I want to do is bring in my selected picture. Now this happens to come from digitalcollage.com. I think he's adorable. Now the reason why I chose to do a coffee dyed background is because I just want it to be plain because I want him to really show up. And this image doesn't really come all the way to the edge, but that's okay because we're going to finish it off and you won't even see that. So what I want to do is add my glue to the back of my image. And I am going to add the glue to the edge so that, once again, nothing jumps back behind, being the little sequins and things that we put inside the envelope. I'm just going around in a circle just to make sure it really gets glued well. Now my image has an up and down, so I need to make sure that I get this in and he's straight. So I'm not really going to push him down quite yet until I make sure he's exactly where I want him. And I do think I want him about right there. So I'm going to take my bone folder. And I'm going to take my bone folder, I see a glob of glue right here, and I'm going to use my bone folder by pushing it down like this. If I just pushed it straight down like that, some of the glue might have seeped in or on the other parts of the envelope, and I don't want it to accidentally seal my envelope closed. So now we're just like this. How adorable, right? So the next thing is that we're going to need to add our little items. Now, I would like to add, this is an assortment pack here. I'm going to grab some snowflakes and some reindeer. I really don't want the Santa. I want the reindeer. I like the stars. And there's quite a few reindeer stuck together right here. I don't need them all stuck together. There we go. So let's get these inside. I really didn't mean to drop them, but they fell out, so it's okay. I'll use my card. I'm going to add these in here. Then I want to add some gold stars. Now, I just bought these from Amazon, and they weren't that much money. They're assorted gold stars. I'll shake a few in there like that. I might need to add a few more in just a minute. Push those out of the way. I won't take the time to pick them up. And then I have these, which are really very interesting. They're, I don't even know what, oh, let's see, what are they called? They're called tube confetti. They came in green, red, and blue. I bought them at the Dollar Tree. That's where I bought them. And I like them because they're three-dimensional, but yet they're soft. And so they're not going to break your window or cause your window to become creased in any way. Let's see if that's enough and if I like that. Now let's shake her up, see how she's looking. Oh yeah, I think that's going to be perfect. So the next step that I want to do is I want to go ahead and seal my envelope closed, and I'm just going to use my Tombow glue, and I'm just going to seal it. And even though we're going to put a piece of cardstock over the top of this, I still want to seal it. So I'm just going to close it, and then I'm going to actually switch glue. I'm going to use my art glitter glue, and the reason why I'm switching glues is because it really grabs on quickly, and that's what I want to continue this project. I don't want it to be, you know, moving around on us while I'm trying to show you something. I did notice that I want to ink this up just a tiny bit, just in case anything kind of shows. Alrighty, so I'm going to add, once again, this is cardstock. I did coffee dye it. It has a very light little print on it. I trimmed it around the same way I trimmed around the inside piece that I added. And I'm just going to add my glue all the way around and a little bit in the center like that. And I'm going to just pick it up and tap it to make sure that it's pretty even. I'm going to try to get my shaker stuff a little even too. There we are. Now I'm going to add some paper clips. And the reason why I add paper clips is that it just really helps the edge make sure that it stays in contact with, the two pieces stay in contact with each other, and it doesn't get a bump or a lump, or it doesn't, maybe someplace doesn't really glue down well. It just really helps that. So I'm just going to quickly go around the whole thing. All right, now at this point in time, you do not have to sew around the edge, but I'm going to show you one that I have sewn around the edge, and you can see how that looks. It just, I don't know, you know me, I love to sew paper. So let's just go ahead and let's remove these, and you can see that there are some places that you might want to trim up, and I do see a couple. So let's go ahead and let's trim this up. So it's just easy to bring in your scissors and just trim right where you need to. Be careful that you don't cut your envelope, though. That wouldn't be a good thing to do, because then all your goodies would come out. All right, so the next thing that I would like to do is I'm actually going to bring in my sewn one that I have already sewn, and I have some lace that I have gathered on the machine. If you don't have a machine, you get your little strip of lace, which is about 1 inch wide, and it needs to be fairly long because it's going to go around the circle of your opening of your CD, not your opening, your window. It's going to go around your window. Now, I know that, well, I don't know. If you've watched my videos, if you watch me, and then you know that sometimes I use glue and I use a little plastic card and I just push the ribbon and make pleats. Now you can do it that way just as well as you can do it this way. I'm just going to do it this way. The line in with the machine, with the stitching, really helps me place it where I want it to go. Now what I want to do is I want to see if I can, oh, I know what I was going to tell you. If you do choose to sew the machine, I suggest that you get all your goodies to come down, and that you check that, see there's a goodie there, that there aren't any goodies up here, and then sew here. And then do the same thing and go all the way around, checking there aren't any goodies up here, and then sew, and then go. That way your machine won't get mad at you because you've run into one of these, and then it won't kind of mess it up by making a lump. That, I did want to tell you that. So I'm going to use my hot glue to put this on, just because it's going to be a little quicker for me and on this video. So I'm just going to start with a small area. So if you're using, well, whether you're using hot glue or whether you're using regular glue and you're making your own little pleats, start with a small area. If you're using hot glue, it helps to just take it and go like this if you have a glass mat, and that really gets it stuck on there nicely. And just go around, all the way around this little opening. Make sure we're not going to twist it. I don't want it twisted. And it might take a few little moments to do, but it's going to be well worth it. I'm going to continue on. All right, so when you've gone all the way around the edge, it's going to look like this. Oh, I think it's so cute, right? So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to bring in a green satin ribbon. And I have sewn a stitch with my machine right through the middle of it. You don't have to do that. That was just something that I thought was cute that I wanted to do. And I'm just going to make a bow with this. So here we are. Let's make a little bow. Pull down the edges. Don't want a real big bow, but we don't want a real small bow either. We want it to be pretty proportional to our card. Now find if your image that you place in here has a top, you know, and up and down. You want to make sure you put this bow at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and add my ribbon with my glue. I'm just holding it down till it grabs a hold. I'm going to trim just a little bit of this ribbon off like this. And the last thing that I want to do, which I really think is going to, which I think really makes it into an authentic wreath, is by taking my Tombow glue, and I want to place a little dollop of glue here and maybe here, and then getting a little bit of glue on my pin, and I'm going to pick out, I want gold. I'm going to pick out 3 gold gems right here, and I'm going to put a cluster of 3, and I'm going to do this to the next one as well. So let's get this one on here like this. Now, after you've done all the way around with these clusters, it looks like this. Now this one I added a tab to. You don't have to add a tab if you don't want to, but oh my goodness, is that not an adorable shaker card? And it looks just like a wreath. You guys, if you've enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up. I invite you to subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in my next video. I'll see you there, guys. Bye now.